Now, something I've heard also are complaints about the classroom education program. I've heard students say that the class that they're in is too low for their skills, or that they're teaching themselves. Perhaps their teacher is too busy, doesn't provide individual attention to them to help them with their problems, and sometimes even the teacher doesn't do any teaching. Now, is it possible that a teacher doesn't do any teaching?
No, not at all. All of our teachers are highly trained, and one of the unique features of JRC is that we actually individualized every student's educational program so that our students are working on the exact level that they are supposed to be working on based on the tests that are given to them. So a student may feel like they're working on something that's too low for them, but most likely what's happening is that a student thinks that they're in 7th or 8th grade but have tested at a 4th or 3rd grade level, and so in reality they're working on goals and objectives to meet those expectations of a 3rd or 4th grader, and they don't have the basic skills because of the behavior problems that they've had in the past. They haven't been able to develop those skills to get them up to grade level. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that they have all of the fundamental skills that they need, and then progress them through all of the different types of programs, educational programs, necessary to bring them up to grade level as soon as possible.
And something else that could be commented too is that, as you may be aware, students at JRC, for the most part, have their own computer terminals at their desks. And we make extensive use of a behavioral education approach that is called precision teaching. And precision teaching essentially involves something which is similar to programmed instruction, a term you may have heard of. And this involves working on small steps or small amounts of material until you become fluent, which means that you're accurate and rapid in being able to solve that particular problem or answer correctly. And then you move on to the next lesson or step in the curriculum. Students spend a lot of time practicing, going over and over and over the same basic material until they become fluent. We are committed to making our students fluent in basic academics, and that involves a lot of practice time and a lot of rehearsal of those basic skills. So when students are saying, "I'm teaching myself," they may be actually telling you, "I'm doing a lot of practice," which is, I think, by no means a bad thing.
And I think it is very different than what a lot of traditional schools use as a means of teaching their students. And we do some group instruction, but the majority of our students' time is spent on the computer. And what we have found is the success rate is so high for our students that they end up jumping grade levels very quickly.
Absolutely.